I'm going to flush the coolant on my W126 today. It's an 88420 SEL, and I found my model right there and my engine right there, and the capacity is 13.7 quarts. And then I looked this over. I mean, you can drain the radiator by just pulling the plug out, but I want to get everything out of the engine block. So there's a plug. There's one on each side, the left side and the right side. You can see a picture there. It's close to the shock. So I'm going to take a look at mine and see what kind of shape they're in. This is the drain plug on the left side. It's a 6mm Allen, I think. Mine looks really corroded. I don't want to mess around with that. So there's one on each side, and it's above the engine mount shock. And I think I'd replace the washer and maybe even the plug if I was to do this, but I don't want to have to wait a week for the parts. So I'm just going to get more distilled water, and eventually I'll clear everything out of the block. It's just going to take a longer time. I also decided not to replace the thermostat. I know those can be a little brittle. Mine's fine, and if it becomes a problem I can replace that later. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to check the fan clutch, and you just grab a blade and you just flip it up like that, and if it spins freely like a third of a turn or even more, then you know that your clutch is bad. I already ordered the plug, and I have that in case I break that, but I'm just going to drain the radiator, get that empty, put the plug back on, fill up the reservoir with distilled water. I think about a gallon to a gallon and a half at a time. Warm up the engine, have the heater on full, and then that should open up the thermostat so it'll get into the system and clean out the block quicker. Then you drain that, and then you put the plug back on, fill it up with water, and you just repeat the process over and over until it looks clean. In my case, it's got to be clear because I just want to get rid of the green stuff completely. I got Zerex G05. It's, you know, the gold coolant. I'm replacing the green stuff that's in there, which is wrong. I got 2 gallons, and this is concentrated, so that would give me 4 gallons. The capacity of my system is a 4.2 liter, is 13.7 quarts. This is the radiator drain plug. It's made out of plastic, and I'm told that they might break. Also, there's a rubber seal on it that might be bad on the old one. Part number is 000-501-0171. Okay, well, there's the drain plug. It's on the right side of the radiator on my car. I got a normal flat blade screwdriver. It's pretty big. Oh, that wasn't tight at all. I've got the cap on the reservoir because I don't want to come gushing out all at once. Well, it should have been threaded out by now. I think it's just stuck on something. There we go. This is held up on the side. Okay, now it's coming out. There we go. The whole plug just came out. That looks clean though. That fluid doesn't look bad at all. That is surprisingly clean. I just don't see anything in there at all. No rust, nothing. Okay, I've got the plug back on the radiator, and I looked at the fluid, and it looks brand new. So I don't think there's any reason to do a flush cleaner, so I'm just going to go with the distilled water. Basically what I want to do is flush all the green stuff out. So I'll be doing this as many times as it takes until clear water comes out. Okay, I measured what I took out. I drained 1.25 gallons. So going into the 2nd gallon now. Got the heater on high, the fan on high. It's been running for about 15-20 minutes, and it's about 81. That's as hot as it's going to get. So I'm just going to let it cool off, and then I'll drain that into a pan and see what color I got. Okay, I'm on the second drain, and I'm going to take the cap off to release the pressure. There it goes. Looks a lot greener than I thought. Got the plug on, and last time it took 1.5 gallons, so this should be the same. This is my third flush, and it's still green. And it's still green. And it's still green. This is the 6th drain. Okay, this is the 7th drain. This is the 8th drain. This is the 9th drain. And I put 13 gallons of distilled water through here. And it's finally looking clear. Well, that's the 10th drain. Okay, this is the 11th flush. And it's finally clear. Well, that was the original drain. That's the original coolant that was in. You can see how dark it was to the first flush. Each flush took about 5.5 to 6 quarts. And it took a total of 11 flushes to get it clear. And after a while, I just thought the green dye was just too strong. It would never get clear. But the last couple got clearer and clearer. And finally on the 11th, it just turned crystal clear. So there's like zero green crap in my car. And now I can add the GO5. I have 2 gallons of Zerex GO5. It's straight. And if you mix it 50-50, you'll get to minus 34. And I live in northern Wisconsin, and we've had it colder than that. So I'm going to probably end up with like a 60-40. Color on here is a real light yellow. It almost looks clear. I had the engine running for 15 minutes with the heater on high. I would occasionally add a little bit of coolant as the air worked its way out of the system. But it's now stable and it's full and the temperature is good, so I'm done.